Live and at it. Get the fan going to my one fan because it is hot in Beijing. It is very warm. Not as bad as it was last week, but it hasn't rained recently. Did it rain yesterday? Blue skies today, thankfully, but hot and a bit humid. Middle of July, it's going to get worse still. So it's a nice evening tonight, though. The only issue about this time of year, not that I really want to complain about this weather at all, is the mosquitoes are out, so you need to wear insect repellent and whatnot, and sunscreen and as well if you're into that. Some people, I myself, don't really like wearing sunscreen, but I will if I have to. I prefer the sunbrella of all things, because if I have the sunbrella, then I don't feel like I'm all gunky. But that is life when you're living in the heat, and I kind of wonder sort of how people in Singapore get along with the heat and humidity all the time. If they wear a lot of SPF, or if that is more of a North American Western type of thing. Anyway, so today, so my name is Steve, and this here is the language vlog channel where I'm supposed to be tracking my language progress over time. Yet I haven't really done very many. How would you call it? Live stream. Sorry, language check-ins recently. I will get back to them. It's been about 2 months since the last one. I will do another one, hopefully within the next couple days or so. Mainly because we were in Australia 2 weeks ago, and then we had a backlog of videos to get through. And not only that, if you have followed along at all, I actually have a podcast that kind of goes along with this channel. Hello, Suvik, welcome. And I will pop the language vlog podcast into the chat box. You can take a look at that. I do try to record that each and every week, and it kind of parallels the YouTube channel, because here I do a lot of YouTube shorts. If you've noticed, if you look through the channel, you'll see a lot of very 1 minute short videos, not many long form videos, and that's basically because it's easier for me to shoot a 1 minute YouTube short as an idea, as a thought, rather than as trying to flesh out an entire long form video. That will change going forward. Most I do have a video editor, and she is very helpful. It's not her fault; it's me. I'm the one who has to script and do all that stuff, and it's just one of those things that takes some time. I find it doesn't always come together the way I want it to. But that will change. So we are going through the Australian vlogs. There's about 2 or 3 more that we're going to publish, and then after that, there are 2 other Chinese videos. Actually, it's going to be 3. One is with another, what do you call it? Another foreigner, another expat here, and his studio setup. And then the other one is actually a talk with one of the students from the university that I was teaching at just this past semester. So those 2 videos will be published after we get the Australian videos done and up. Suvik, Chinese culture is very interesting. Henyo Isa, yes, been here for 10 years. Been trying to learn Chinese as well. I was doing my character study today. Do I take influencing personally, professionally? No, I'm not a professional influencer. Maybe I should become one. Not sure what the market is for 18-inch beard influencers. I'm sure I could get some sort of brand deals due to this thing. But this is my current Chinese writing. So I did that today. And that is, I've been spending about an hour or so a day since the semester let out last month. And I want to get through all of these characters, or at least a lot of them. So this is the HSK 5 book. This is Shang. And There is another one, Xia, that I have only done half of. Sorry, let's see. So there's 36 chapters. I've done up to chapter 23 or 24. And right now, this summer, I decided to, I don't know why, I decided to start writing out all the characters. 25, 2 lines each. So you'll see each character has 2 lines. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, etc., etc. So it's very busy, and you might wonder why would I do that? I have found that if you write out the Chinese characters, it helps character recognition, which helps your reading, which then helps your vocabulary. And if you have a bigger vocabulary, you can speak more and understand more in pretty much that order. From India, welcome India. Learning Chinese is complex as Hindi, as complex as some of the Indian dialects out there. Crazy. I tried taking last year, but I took an Arabic course, and that was, and I guess Hindi and Arabic share similarities. Tamil, what is it? Don't quote me on this. Again, only took one course, but I know I've had several Indian colleagues over the years, and it is not as easy. I actually had a choice. Suvik, I had a choice many years ago, actually, even about 7 years ago. I had a choice between China and India. The same job was available, China, India. And I was like, well, I was sort of doing some research. And as far as I could tell, China was a little bit more organized and had more money opportunities than India did. And what I mean by that is that, uh, like, China is a bit more structured in some ways, especially in the way that they follow orders and follow instructions. I've never been to India. I'm going off of what I've been told by my Indian colleagues and people who have lived or worked in India. The other thing is in terms of money available. So in India, you can make a lot of money as an English teacher. The I guess the issue is that you're going to be living in places where it will be like, is culture shock even bigger in India compared to China? That's a question I'd love to know. But going to India, let's everyone I know who has gone to India has said they have loved it, despite the Delhi belly, despite the fragrances, despite the chaos that is the streets and everything. Everybody comes back and says India, fantastic place to go. I've never been. I'd love to go. Uh, Fellow Canadian Alanis Morissette, thank you India, thank you Tiber, blah blah blah, etc. Maybe you know the song. Yes. So never been to India, but depends where you live in China. Yes, very true. Have you lived in China? You say you're from India. Curious if you've ever been to China or if you know anybody who's lived in China. What do I teach here? I teach English. Try to. I also have done language assessment throughout. I've done consultations, private client work for a private firm as well. Have I tried Duolingo? I tried Duolingo years ago. I no longer like it. I don't prefer it. The last time I tried Duolingo, I was starting Arabic, and I got through. The one word I remember, one character is dood, Dood. That's it. Other than that, I don't really know very much more Arabic than that. Never really tried Hindi as well because, again, that was a one-off last year, a trial class that I think is still available on this channel. You can see the trial class that I took with the lady last year or 2 years ago already. It was a while ago. Hindi is hard because of its grammar and some uses of bindi. I don't know what bindi is. I should look that up. Copy. Bindi. What is a bindi in Hindi grammar? Tell me. Hindi, Hindi mini. Is it a movie? Oh, wow. Yeah, like Bindi are the characters. Hmm. Or are you just talking about the red dot? No, can't be that. Hmm. Sticker. Oh, it could be a sticker as well. Originally worn by Hindus, Jains, and Buddhists from the and Wikipedia gets cut off there. Bindi. Interesting. Well, has a huge cultural shock in every city. I've been told. Yeah. India, very different north to south. I guess you could almost say that about China as well. I think the one major difference between India and China, at least as it sort of portrays itself to the world and its effort to consolidate its geography, China very much plays up the whole one country, one people sort of thing. And I know over the last couple of years, there's been a big sort of pushback against English because it's a colonization language. Han Chinese or Mandarin Chinese is sort of the standard language that if you were to come to China, it would be I don't want to say it's the same as English in that regard, but in terms of standardizing and sort of putting everybody on the same footing in terms of linguistic abilities. Because if you come to China, and same with India, so India, huge country, huge geography, the lots of different languages and dialects throughout. Same with China, huge country, and as a result, you go from northeast Dongbei to Xinjiang or Xinjiang in the west, and then to the central in Shanxi in Hebei, Hubei, Beijing, of course, Shanghai, different than Beijing a little bit, and then down to the south, Guangzhou. Just huge difference in terms of languages, in terms of even culture in some ways. So the effort of China, particularly I mean, I don't want to say the government is doing this, but the people have sort of made an effort to not homogenize, but certainly make it easier for people to uh, move around the country a lot easier, given the linguistic like sharing the same language. Han Chinese, Mandarin Chinese is what you'd sort of see as a result. India never did that, as far as I understand, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. Does India have the same push to standardize a language throughout the country aside from English? Is there a sort of a standard language that they would use to make the South and the North sort of speak the same language, which is what happens a little bit in China. I guess India has tried to do that. India does also speak English. A fun fact: if you ever try to do one of the IELTS tests, they will sometimes they have Indian examiners, and they are would they be one of the most complained about accents because uh, the Indian accent, although perfectly normal and part of the world Englishes, and the dialects, can be very difficult for people who aren't familiar with it. Even some native English, like even from Canadians and Americans, can get tripped up by Indian pronunciation, even though perfectly standard and perfectly acceptable, perfectly sort of understandable in many contexts. Um, so Bindi is the pronunciation of some words. Okay. Google's giving me a flag here. Bindi, Hindi pronunciation. What is it? Pronunciation of some words. Let's look that up. Hindi words, nasal sounds with Bindi for non-Hindi speaking. Okay. The Hindi alphabets. You know what? I will share my screen so you can see what I am doing here. Bang. There. Nothing not allowed on my screen. Good. So this is what I'm being told here. Convent school, so I don't have that accent. Okay, interesting. Bindi is used for pronunciation of some words. Hindi, Urdu, use of the Bindi. Something like this. What is this? Let's take a look at that. What is Bindi called in English pronunciation? She just keeps on referring to the small colored mark. I put a dot on blah, blah, Hindi. Interesting. Bindi baby animals. Bindi words pronunciation. Is that what it is? Huh. Hindu. Hindi, Urdu maybe it was Urdu that I studied, Hindi or Urdu, because they share the language, the alphabet, don't they? I would like to discuss the use of the Bindi Nukta. Is that how I say it? In the Devanagari script. I've included Urdu because in India, where there are Urdu writings written in the Devanagari. Right. Wow. Okay. So this is a very, very different. I don't know anything about Indian languages. Nothing. In Urdu and Arabic are alike. Yes. Maybe that's why I am forgetting and getting confused. One of the things I wanted to do with studying Hindi for a little bit, what like for that one class, I do want to get into Arabic at some point, but the fact that I am currently studying Mandarin Chinese and Russian, it just takes up all my time. Chinese takes up all my time. It's a one of these languages that I've called it a tripartite language: characters, pronunciation, and meaning. So the meaning doesn't always follow the pronunciation, and the pronunciation doesn't always follow the characters. So they it's kind of difficult. It pretty much absorbs all my time. And going back to the writing, doing the HSK 5 writing, which most people would say that HSK 5 is pretty high level already. I do not feel very high level. I feel very low level. And even now, I still get comments about my pronunciation, the words I'm using, how I'm saying things, my grammar, especially. I speak Chinese with a very much an English grammar method. So, not too, and I guess I'm one of these older learners. How much more can I change? How much more do I care to change of my language abilities? Urdu and Arabic are alike. Even Indians don't know all the languages of India. I was told that Indians typically know three languages. They know their sort of their hometown language. They know English, and then they also know like Urdu or Hindi or like one of the major languages. Before I was saying that India hadn't tried to consolidate its languages as China did. I think that's wrong. I think because India did try to like, has pushed Hindi as the standard dialect. India standard dialect, standard language. How about this? If I wanted to go to India, which language should I learn? Hindi, English, Bengali, and Telugu. Hindi. Hindi is the most widely speaking language in India, apart from English and other regional languages. But Hindi can be understood by almost all Northwest Central India. I guess, Suvik, my question would be, was there ever a push? I guess for English there was a push because the British were there. That so there's your colonization language. But Hindi, was that ever pushed as sort of binding all the people together and bringing everybody in into the fold, so to speak? Which foreign language has demand in India? After French, German. Do the Indians like German? A lot of Chinese people are learning Spanish these days. Don't know why. I don't know who is sort of promoting that, but Spanish is huge in China, after English, of course. 10 best foreign languages to learn in India. Are there 10? If I learned Hindi, how long would it take me to learn Bengali and Telugu and other languages like that? French or Spanish. What is this? Table of contents. Deutsch, Espanol, Nihongo, Putonghua, Hangugo, Arabia, Arabic, Ruski, Portuguese, Italiano. That really wasn't what I thought was going to be. India. Language next. So this is what Indians want to learn, I guess. Yes, one time pushed for Hindi language, but South India protested for one major language. Can only imagine how that went. Hindi. Let's look up Hindi. I wanted to look at. I was going to give you guys like Chinese lessons or Chinese sources. I can give you the link as well. Let's go. Where is Wikipedia.org.com? And we'll go Hindi. Let's find out the history of Hindi. Yeah, see, I couldn't even begin to understand how that character is written. Is that how many characters is that? Hindi. How do you even pronounce that? This is the same thing. When people look at Chinese, it's the same. The word Hindi in Devanagari. Yeah. Region, Hindi belt. Uttar Pradesh, Delhi. Hindustan, Hindi. Indo-Iranian, Indo-Aryan, Central Indo-Aryan. Just no English. Hindi, a bit like some words. Central India and South India, English would work. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so you say Arabic, yeah. So you're also saying that I made a good choice by going to India, as here's many English teachers online and in school, unlike in China where people tutor more specific for English to go for abroad. Very true. Yes, the one thing about the Indian market is that you do there's we have English teachers from India. Like it's almost like going to Hong Kong. You go to Hong Kong, they speak English in Hong Kong. How would you teach English in Hong Kong when it's one of the standard or one of the was it one of the standard languages? What do they call it? Mandatory languages, something like that. So go to India. Well, China won out just because I was like I was never going to go there, and I thought I would go to China. I would come to China for 2 to 3 years, and to tell you the truth, I did not want to learn Chinese at all when I came here. When I first arrived in Beijing, even now, I kind of just I I learned Chinese because I had a job that was horribly boring, and it had a structure to it though that I could work on the characters. And as I mentioned before, working on the characters is a huge part in developing a vocabulary, not just for speaking, but also for reading. And I imagine, like, if you went to places in India where like English isn't spoken very much, are the signs only in Hindi or in Urdu? How would you get around with that? Get around in that situation? Here in China, same. You go to some places, it's all in Chinese. You're going, what does it say? I don't know what that says. So if you learn to read characters, you start to be able to read some signs, and that also helps your vocabulary at the same time. But it's very, very time consuming to do it, to get it all done. Come to just know English, Hindi a bit, some like words for North India. In South India, English would work. Yes. Flooded with English teachers in India. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Hindi, English, Bengali, and Telugu. And I've never heard of Telugu. I've heard of Bengali, and then Urdu. Mutually intelligible standard Urdu. Modern standard Hindi. So I guess that's what they would teach in the schools. And you were saying that there was sort of a push for one language throughout the country. Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing to have one language across a country or across a geography? Examples of this: Bhojpuri Hindustani, spoken in South Africa, Mauritius. Fiji Hindi, spoken in Fiji. Wow. Caribbean Hindustani. Interesting. I'd love to go into India, man. It'd be absolutely crazy. But India, I think Canadians can get a 6-month visa? How long? Indian visas for Canadians. Requirements. Pricing. Welcome to India. Well, thank you. Okay, all right, Toronto. I'll check out Toronto as well. Consulate India, General India, Toronto documents. Wow. Must be in color, of course. Pricing, Canada. How much? Why did it apply a visa? 70 US dollars, so about $100 Canadian. That's it? That's cheap. Man, let's go to India. That'd be fun. Oh, how long can I go for? 6 business days. But I want to know, how long can I actually stay in the country? 6 months, no, it's 6 business days. No, India visa online, non-extendable, non-convertible, not valid for visiting protected, restricted, and cantonment area. What is a cantonment area? Cantonment area. What is this? Here. Housing, barracks, maid service quarters. Oh, I see. Okay. So, like, basically for workers and stuff. What is this? Yeah. Oh, Cloudflare. Cloudflare. Thanks. Employment. No. Student conference. Journalist. No. Research. Entry. I just want. How long can I go for? 6 months? Validity. How long is it for? How long is the Indian visa for Canadian? Validity of a tourist visa. 10 years? Canada? I can go. What? Foreigner cannot obtain a visa on arrival. Good to know, as I found out with Australia. I need a visa to get there. They call it Electronic Transit Authority. Visa. Still a visa. BLS, India, and Canada. Government of India has started issuing 5 to 10-year durations. No way. Eligibility, entry points, validity for a period up to 60 days with double entry on e-tourist visa and e-business visa. In the case of e-medical visa, extension, conditions for e-visa, fee for visa. Eligibility, what? Wait a minute, but they said, where's the 10 years? What? Procedures, entry points, validity. Well, it's, okay, I don't know. All right, transit visa, tourist visa, eligibility, validity. What was the first one here? First one was e-visa. Okay, so that's 60 days. But if I want a tourist visa, 5 years. Where's Canada? Give me Canada. Pakistan, condition, repeat visits, group tourist. Where's Canada? Canada. Where are you? Not in that list. I think that's a good thing not to be in that list. Here, multiple entry tourist visa may be granted for a period of 10 years to the nationals of USA, Canada, and Japan with a stipulation that continuous stay during each visit shall not exceed 180 days, and registration is not required. Hmm. Well, Henyo Isa, I didn't know that. So anyway, I don't know if I'm going to be going to India anytime soon. I was actually thinking I'd like to travel around China a little bit more this summer rather than anywhere else overseas. As I just came back from Australia recently. That was a decent chunk of change that I spent over there. There you go. Indian tourist visas, 10 years duration. You can't stay more than 180 days. All right. Well, bye bye to you, Mr. Google. Miss Google, to you, Google. And so today, actually, one of the things I was going to talk about were some of the learning resources that I've used for learning Chinese. Some people were asking me how I went about learning Chinese back in the day. And so I put together this list of resources that I think should help people learn a little bit more, or at least get on with their own language studies or Chinese studies in particular. So I will put a link to this. I can share this. Share. Anyone with the link, copy link, and we'll pop this into the chat box. There we go. Sharing. Bang. Done. So that link is there. You can copy paste it. You can take these different resources and use them for your own benefit. So when I was learning Chinese, I already mentioned before that I've been doing the HSK 5 characters. So this is the HSK 5 are out of 6 levels. They've changed it recently to 9 levels. Levels 7 to 9 being much more specialized, that more for like scholars of ancient Chinese, medical scholars, PhDs, like researchers, people who are spending a lot of time reading not just modern Chinese, but ancient Chinese as well. So that's where levels 7 to 9 come into play. Other than that, like if you just came to China to live and work, like to live or work, or live and work, or to travel, you don't need very much Chinese. You should learn some HSK 1, but HSK will not teach you how to navigate the country at all. These are the first ones that I put up here, HSK textbooks. If you want to learn Chinese as a subject, as in an effort to like read Chinese books, watch Chinese movies, read the newspaper, you won't be able to read the newspaper until HSK 5, late HSK 4, upper HSK 4, and HSK 5. At that point, you could start reading the newspaper. HSK 6, by that time, you'd be a lot more, you'd be much further along in terms of your character recognition. And if you aren't able just to recognize the characters, but understand the meaning of each of the characters, because there's one thing to learn a character, but then when you put two or three characters together, changes the meaning, and it doesn't always follow from the characters before that. So basically, it's like you're learning the characters, and the characters have their meaning, but then you learn the characters, and you learn that when you put those characters together with other characters, they have different meanings. Shui Ping comes to mind. If I could write that down. Shui Ping. So you have Shui and Ping. Shui is water, and Ping is like platform, like Ping Tai. But Shui Ping means level. And why is it level? Why does Shui and Ping mean level? There's various reasons for that. I'm not sure if I could explain it very well, but that's sort of the idea is that you learn a Chinese character, then you learn the Chinese words. So the Chinese character has a meaning, and then the Chinese characters with put together are form other words that have other meanings. And over top of all that, you need to have the perfect or the a correct tone. Although, as I've learned, as I've sort of sussed out in my own Chinese efforts, my own Chinese studies over the years, it's not so much the tones that matter so much. It's the ability to paraphrase, to talk around your point. Because I've noticed that again, you could blame me. You might say, well, if you heard me, 如果我说中文，你的印象对我的说话，我的声调不太正确，不是有点问题，有点儿的问题，和有可能我用我说错的，我说错，我说别的词我的意思是别的，但是你听得到别的词。意思是我说水平，你听得到水平，水平，别的字，别的汉字。Right now, so if you didn't understand what I'm saying, all it is that if I were to speak one word and I mean this, but you understand it to be this, regardless of the situation, I have found that I still get the same the Chinese people still say I have come to acknowledge that that is very, very similar to the English people, like to English speakers. It's like, so, what? Sorry, sorry. What did you say? Like, if someone you start speaking to someone and they don't hear you right away, like, hey, dude, how's it going? Huh? Hey, dude, how's it going? That very quick response. Do you have any of the chocolate muffins? So, which one's the chocolate muffins? So they're repeating back to you what you just said, not because they didn't hear you, but they're it's that sort of speech pattern. What is it called? Dialect discourse, speech discourse, speaking discourse, discourse analysis. That's what they use. That's the term that they use in the industry that talks about the sort of formulaic, the common elements of speaking when in the English language. Anyway, so learn the characters, learn the meanings, learn the characters with other characters, and that changes the meanings as well. HSK books are good if you want to learn Chinese as a subject, possibly because you want to be able to again read books, watch movies, study in China. You can get a bachelor's degree, and usually, I think if you apply to a Chinese university to do an undergraduate degree, you do need to fulfill or satisfy the language requirements, which is like HSK 3. Might sound difficult if you've never studied Chinese before, but with that, they might actually pay you. You might actually you might be able to receive a full scholarship to learn Chinese. They will pay for all your Chinese classes. If you come here and you say, "Yeah, I want to get an undergraduate degree, I will fulfill the language requirements such as hitting HSK 3 or HSK 4," they will usually give you a scholarship to do that. So that's what the HSK books are for. That's the university level type of learning. HSK is not conversational. There are other books that are better for conversations. Um, Hit or miss. For conversation, I'd almost say just go find a teacher, which I would actually say is right here. So this one, Italkie, is a platform that I use. I've used it quite a bit. I'm not affiliated with them. They don't sponsor me or anything. They could. But Italki is the place that when I got serious about speaking Chinese, I basically searched for two types of teachers, maybe three types. Cheap, under 50 renminbi, $10. Length of class, 30 minutes. Package deals, and then also scheduling. So I want to, because some teachers they weren't available, whether they were in Taiwan or even overseas, like they were living in Canada or something. But looking for teachers that were under $10 for a half an hour class. I have found that half an hour classes for me, I'm able to hold my attention a lot better. Even 45 minutes is too long to study to sustain the linguistic the sustain the momentum of the class. It's one thing to say, "Oh, it's great, longer classes, you'll get more exposure." I don't think so. Instead, what I used to do, and I still try to do this, is I do it the 30 plus 30 method. So if I book a 30-minute class with a teacher, I will then, before the class begins, spend 15 to 30 minutes preparing for the class. It can't be 30 plus 30 if you only do 15 minutes warm up. Now, you could split this. You can go 15 minutes before, have the class, and then do 15 minutes after. Or what I used to do, start listening, reading, writing, working within the language 30 minutes prior to the class, and then the class be half an hour. And usually after the class is over, I'm either hungry or I'm just so tired of thinking so much, of being embarrassed of my language abilities, that I just kind of call it a day, sort of thing. So 30 plus 30, book your class, 30 minutes long. But before that, spend 30 minutes preparing for the class, doing your, not so much doing your homework, but listening to a podcast, watching videos, writing out your characters, etc. I found that that was very helpful. So HSK textbooks, good for university. Italki, good for conversation. If you're not willing to spend money on Chinese classes just yet, there are a few other sources. Hello Talk kind of tries to be the the language sharing social media platform. I think Tandem is also like that as well, but I've never Tandem, I think, is more of a language exchange. I've never, I think I've been on Tandem once. I didn't really find it as useful as paying for a teacher through Italki, and that's the thing with Italki. You can find community teachers and professional teachers. I mean, I had both. I've tried both, community and professional. Professional teachers just have more qualifications. Community teachers typically have more for fluency practice, where I don't feel as bad sort of making mistakes. But at the same time, with the community teachers on italki, that's where you sort of get the same conversation over and over again. Where are you from? What do you do? Why do you live in China? Why are you learning Chinese? And you just have that same conversation over and over again, usually because that person, that community teacher, is more interested in meeting people than in really teaching the language. So Hello Talk is one of these social media or linguistic or language learning social media platforms. Good for fluency, not for accuracy. You do need to be careful what you share on that platform, as there are some strange people sometimes. And let's see if we can pull up Hello Talk on here. Hello Talk. So that's the application there. Hello Talk. Similar to Mondly, My Language Exchange, Elsa Speaker. That's an AI program. So this is Hello Talk again. It's I won't sign in, but this is kind of what it looks like. This is the website. It's an app. Um, all sorts of languages are available. Chat with millions. Oh, so you do need. Can we get onto the web? Hello Talk web. Give me the web. Web.hellotalk. You still have to scan it. Okay. Well, I don't know if the last time I tried to use this account, I actually got blocked, and that was just around the time when the Russian and Ukrainian war started. So I think my account got shuttered. I had two accounts. I had one for Chinese and one for Russian, and I think because the Russian one got shut down, the Chinese one wasn't working well as either. So, but Hello Talk is something that I used to use, but again, you do have to be careful what you share. Some females, some women that I've met who've heard of Hello Talk, they've all said that Hello Talk, some of the guys on Hello Talk are trying to treat it like Tinder rather than like italki. And italki is very much not like Tinder, but Hello Talk seems to have a few more, and not just for women, I should say. Even if you're a guy on that platform, you will receive messages from people who are looking to take advantage of the situation and your willingness to hear other people's issues. So Hello Talk, you do have to be a little bit careful for that, but still good. The one good thing about Hello Talk is that you can post spoken snippets. So you can record yourself, post that on a wall, and then receive feedback from it in the so people can comment and things like that on what you're saying. Sorry, I didn't show the HSK textbooks before. HSK textbooks. I'll give you an image of what those are. Standard course. So it's actually published by BLCU, or sorry, the Confucius Institute, Hanban Institute, but BLCU is one of the major universities here in Beijing and in China. Are you going to load? No, we can always go to Amazon as well to give you an image, show you what it looks like. So that's the HSK books. Again, up to 6. I think HSK 6 is the upper one that they currently have. I don't know if they have HSK 7, 8, 9 at all just yet. So yeah, HSK 1 is. I'd say it's pretty simple, but if you are just starting out studying Chinese, HSK 1 is tough enough. Oh, thanks, BLC. See, this is the problem. If I have my assisted connection device on, you can't load all the websites, which is too bad. You can also just click images, I guess, here. Tupian. There. That's all your HSK books. And there you go. So that's HSK 5 right there. Right on. Good stuff. So let's see. We've gone through HSK textbooks. We've gone through Italkie. I've talked about Italkie, but I have not shown you Italkie what it is. So this is Italkie. This logo. Very good website. I use it quite a bit. They do have an AI program now. What was it? Italkie Pro? Italkie, what was it called? Italkie Business. Oh, they don't have it listed. All right. Well, they do have a bunch of different offerings here. They do have podcasts. I have found that it's hit or miss whether or not most teachers, when they start doing podcasts and they realize like it's a lot of work and not really worth it. It doesn't necessarily bring in any more clients. But they do also have quizzes, they have communities, language challenges, which language challenges I don't really like when they run them. It's more like, oh, how many classes can you take in a month? And you're going, well, I don't know, my budget is for 10. So like that's all I'm going to take. Why would I take any more if I can't afford it, sort of thing? Language teachers, learn language, lots of different languages available. So I use it mostly for Chinese and also for Russian, although I've also learned Ukrainian on the platform as well. Why do they not have Ukrainian listed? No, it's not the same language. Again, if I was looking for a teacher, I would kind of look at the prices first. $7 seems like a good price for a teacher. $5, good. For Chinese, $13, okay. So 50 renminbi, 60 renminbi, chabaduo, thereabouts. That's what I'd be looking at for just conversation practice. The reason why I go 50 or 60 renminbi for teachers and I don't spend spend much more than that is because especially with a language such as Chinese, you I have found that you just need to spend so much more time developing the basics on your own, whether you're using the HSK books or you're doing Hello Talk and stuff like that. But it's worthless to pay someone 100, 200 renminbi, $40 when you are learning the basics. For Chinese, possibly for Hindi as well, character-based languages, even parts of like learning Russian and Ukrainian, you have to spend so much time learning the basics that until you have a decent grasp of the basics, and I mean, we're not talking that doesn't have to take long, a month, a couple months. For every hour of class that you take, you should be spending, I want to say 10 hours. That's probably not reasonable for a lot of people, but 3, 4, 5 hours of class prep for a language such as Chinese. So if you have a 1 hour class, you should be spending 5 hours preparation before your class so you can actually have something to talk about with your teacher. So we've done HSK textbooks, put those in bold. We've done Italkie for conversation. Love that platform. Hello Talk. We've talked a little bit about that as well. Again, be careful with what you share. HSK Reading. So this would be good if you want to practice. I did this for dictation practice. I would listen and write down what I heard. They don't I guess they haven't updated it in a very long time. So they kind of hit it off in 2020 during COVID. I guess they had time. But they have beginner, intermediate, advanced. Beginner being HSK 1, 2, intermediate 3, 4, advanced being HSK 5 and 6. The great thing about this, what I would do is actually I would 1B. I would actually go to these very simple ones, like let's go to the zoo, or do you have time to play? What does your father do home for a day? Something like that. What job do you want? Okay. I would go here, and you see, this is, I would say, very simple, but it's pure Chinese. They don't pinionize you very early, 工作, but you can hover over it, and this text box pops up, gives you the definition, the pinyin, and then also other words. 歌分享. Why is it like that? CL, classical, 歌分享. Related words, I guess. I'm not sure. So you can hover over it and get your answers there. But the other thing that I would do is that they often have a. They have it here. They don't have it here. Oh no! I'm trying to show you something and they don't have it. Where is one of these? What does your father do? Come on, show me. Usually they have MP3 files. They have readings of these stories, and I would practice. There we go. So if you won't be able to hear it because the web won't let me share the audio, but what does your father do? 我爸爸是干什么的？你爸爸是干什么的？ And you can listen to this. And what I would, this is HSK 1, simple. You could read this very easily. 我爸爸昨天才回到家，他从新加坡给我带了礼物 gave me a present. 为什么你爸爸前几天不在家 not at home? 因为他出差了。你爸爸是干什么的？他是一个公司的经理，经常不在家, so often not at home. I would not read this. There's a couple ways I would do it. One, I would not read it. I would play the MP3 file and then try to write down the characters. We used to do this in English class as well. This is actually one of my time fillers in English class. That if I ever needed something to do, I would just dictate a passage, a paragraph, and have the students write down, and then we'd check the answers afterwards. And it would go on for a minute or 2 minutes, and it would just torture the students horribly in just how much the spelling would change, what they heard me say, and what they would actually write down. So I would do this with Chinese. I would listen to the MP3 file and then write down what I heard. I wouldn't look at the screen. I'd look away, actually cover the script up, and listen, listen, write, and then check my answers after. I listened to it probably 2 or 3 times just to check my knowledge of the Chinese characters. So HSK Reading is very good for this. Not all of the stories have MP3s or recordings, but some of them do. I'm not sure if they still up. No, how to catapult your, yeah. So they've basically stopped uploading. I think the last one was June 12th, 2023. Still useful. Thank you for keeping that up. It's very helpful. I still recommend this site to a lot of people. So we've done HSK Reading. If you are looking to up your Chinese reading a little bit more, the one that I use now is Do Chinese. And Do Chinese is, I pay for this. I pay about $20 a month for access for all the features because I use it almost every day. Whether I am at the gym on the stationary bike, I will do some reading there. It is a fantastic app. Such things, I have it here if I can pull it up. Read. So it looks like that, and then you can press on the different words, and it will. You can create your flashcards. You see how the bottom is changing, and gives you all sorts of way. You can also just tap up here to get the translation. But if you don't need to, if you don't want to, you want to hide that, you can just keep it with the Chinese and then press the character. The pinyin will show up. If you want to go into the character, find the dictionary. You can also hear the pronunciation and the stroke order of the character as well. So Do Chinese, I pay for, again, $20 a month, Apple and Google. Very useful, very helpful. Has all sorts, like from HSK 1 to HSK 6 and beyond. It's not targeted at HSK. Instead, it's targeted at people who want to learn Chinese by way of stories. That's all it is. So you see here, they have different, like it's intermediate, upper intermediate, that'd be HSK 4, 5 sort of thing. Master would be HSK 5, 6. And the description is in English, but once you click in, you'll see that that's English. Here, oh, you got to be pro. Oh, come on. Free lessons. Where's the free lesson? Give me the free lessons. Give me the free lesson here. Show me the free lesson. All right, so here's the free lesson. You can hide the pinyin, HSK on off. So these toggling this at the bottom. Sorry, my face is covering here. There we go. HSK on off. So you see all these different color underlines. That will show you what level that is. Purple is HSK 5. What is 6? 6, 4, 1, 5. Usually purple is HSK 6. Do they have any 6? Doesn't look like it. Nothing right now. 2, 1, 5. All right. So you can also shut that off if you find it distracting. You can also shut off the pinyin. So it's just the Chinese. It looks kind of naked this way. The other thing that you can do is change it to Fanti. So this is Genti. That's Fanti. Just a little bit different. I didn't realize that they did the punctuation different in Fanti. Fanti is traditional characters. Genti is simplified characters. So you can take a look at that. Pinyin on off, HSK on off, Genti or Fanti and Genti. 都可以. So we've done Do Chinese for reading practice. Good. The next couple of websites I think you should check out. This is an app. Sadly, Anki, very famous flashcard app. This one, I think you have to pay for it on, let's see, Anki Web. iPhone is a paid program, but if you have an Android, you can download it for free. And I use this apps. So this is available both on Apple and Google. They do explain it somewhere that the reason why they have to charge for the app on MacBook, Apple, the reason why they have to charge for the Anki mobile version is because of the cost of listing something in the App Store, the Apple App Store. So that's why they do that. That one I think costs like $35. But if you have Google Play, if you can download that one for Android, it's free. Mianfei. Same with the web version. Anki Web is free to use. I think you have to download this version first. So you have to download it and then install it onto your computer. and but you can use that free, and it syncs. So you create an account, you register an account, and whatever you do on your desktop, you will see saved in the Anki web version as well. 25. I think that's American, US. Only on the App Store for iPhone and iPad. $25 for Anki Mobile. Same company though. Android, Mianfei, free. So this one is free. And again, the only reason why they've done this is because of the listing fees of for the Apple iStore, the Apple App Store. Too bad, but highly recommend. I used it all the time. It's how I got through HSK 4 up to HSK 5 or so. Now I don't use it as much, mostly because I use Do Chinese for a lot of that. So we got Anki Web done. ChinesePod. This one is also rather well known. ChinesePod is, they do have a free tier and a paid tier. I've heard a lot about this website and their app. I don't use it. Also a YouTube channel as well. There you go. That's good. Wow, that's really loud. 273,000 subscribers. So on YouTube, on online as well. Pricing, how much is this? $29 a month? Holy wow. Okay. Interesting. Not sure I would pay that. Um, take my Mandarin Chinese. That's steep price. 29 $30 a month. I know that the company I worked for before, they actually paid for us. So they bought us, I guess, for a team, and we had free access to Chinese Pod as a result. Again, I never really used it. It's one of these things where if you actually look online, if you look on their YouTube channel, you'll see that they have a lot of these videos already sort of listed there. And with this, even with the modern technology, can you get transcripts? No subtitles, and no, you can't get okay. However, what you could do, I'm sure you could find a way to do this, is record or somehow transcribe the words using an on like your device, because technology's gotten so good these days. Your iPhone should be able to transcribe these things, and then find out what they're saying and create your own sort of transcript. But I mean, that's if you want to spend the time mucking around with technology rather than learning your language. Lots of people use this. It's been recommended. It's been going strong for a very long time. You'll see, like, it's 1 day ago, 3 days ago. They've been going for a very long time. When's the oldest? 7 years ago. 603. Wow. Wow. So yeah, they I guess they started out doing title cards and then they stopped. Not a problem. How to say I hate you? 不喜欢你，讨厌，讨厌，你讨厌的人. You're a despicable person. $30 seems steep. Cheaper options out there, but again, lots of people recommend it. Lots of people talk about it. Chinese Pod. Look it up on YouTube. Done with that. Two other ones that I think are very helpful and useful for people who want to really start digging into Chinese a lot more. One is Chinese grammar. So if you decide to do HSK Chinese Grammar Wiki, if you decide to do the HSK textbooks, you're going to find it's actually kind of lacking in some ways, because it's meant to be used in the classroom. It's not meant to be something that you study on your own. So instead, what it is, with the HSK books, they tend to be a little bit curt or a little bit short on the grammar explanations. So you need another resource. And some of the other grammar reference books out there for Chinese grammar reference books are just not leave something to be desired. That's where All Set comes in. That's where the Chinese Grammar Wiki sort of fills that void. They have what A1, A2, B1, B2. So getting up to B2 would put you at around HSK 3, 4, past HSK 3, HSK 4 for sure. Maybe HSK 5. I'm not sure how they're going to sort of classify that. But HSK 1, 2, 3, C1, that would be HSK 5, 6 already. Upper HSK 5, lower HSK 6. Grammar points. Let's see. Roughly equivalent to HSK levels 4 or 5. I would say, yeah, levels 4 heading into level 5, but not level 5 just yet, because even at B2, you're probably still struggling quite a bit. The good thing about this website is that it is very well laid out. They have a lot of information. Textbook index. What is this? Grammar books. Okay, so it's just wow. So they list all the different textbooks that you can use to sort of get a lot better in Chinese. Again, I just use the HSK standard books. They have that. You'll see once you get to HSK 4, they're split into two. Integrated Chinese, those were okay. New concept is also used at the university level. Short-term spoken Chinese. These ones are pretty well known for a lot of teachers who teach speaking Chinese, more of a spoken approach rather than a reading approach, which is what the HSK books are for. HSK, much more focused on reading and character recognition. Short-term spoken Chinese, much more focused on speaking and going through typical or common conversation scenarios and situations that you will find. Qingwen, free content on Chinese Pod. Okay, so podcast, you can find that. I'll see what that is. Resources all set. Learning. What is this? Qingwen, popular podcast. Okay. What is this? Chinese Pod. What if we go here? 看起来 seems like. Oh wow. Okay, well, it doesn't load. Using kan and 看起来. Very well laid out though. That's awesome. So I'll go back on this one. Name calling, Chinese stuff. So interesting that they have all of these podcasts, these links right to the website. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. That's crazy good. This seems to be free, so take a look at that. Gives you Qingwen, that's the name of it. Kan and Kanchilai seems to be full lesson. Wow. Can you get the full lesson? What is this? I need to be premium vocabulary, premium. I see. Well, I'm not going for premium, not just yet. Did they give us a dialogue? Ma fanla, I tells ya. Ma fanla. But there you go. So Chinese Pod and All Set Learning, I guess, did a partnership here, and that's the podcast that they went through. So All Set Learning, Chinese Grammar Wiki, very good, very useful. They break it down by different levels of grammar points, especially HSK 3. Do they have Chinese forums? 这是什么? They have all right. Where Chinese forums? Oof. Do I want to click onto this? We'll see. Oh, there you go. July 17th, 2025. All right. Well, there you go. So different forums. This would be good for had specific questions about how to learn Chinese or what you should learn. That would definitely be a place that you could check out as well. Chinese forums. I'll pop that the book as well. Oops. Links to this Chinese forums. Good. There we go. So Chinese Grammar Wiki, very good for people who want to dig into the different Chinese grammar aspects, which is very important because the HSK books just do not do very good in explaining what's needed to know heading into the HSK tests. So we did that one. The last one, the last sort of website that I would mention that you should be aware of, MDBG. MDBG Chinese Dictionary. This is a fantastic dictionary online. Shui. Now let's go. Yeah, okay, we'll do Shui. Do this one. Type in your word, click on it, and then the great thing about this is that it starts breaking it down. Shui is not a very good one because it's one of these sort of base characters that can't really be reduced anymore. It does give you some cognates. What is this? Shui. Shui. Yeah. Okay, so same. No. Let's take a look at another word. Go tsai. Two. Vegetables. Click on that, and you can actually break it down even further. You go to these little scissors here, and it shows you the character decomposition. This is fantastic. I wish I knew about this a lot earlier. I didn't. And instead, I relied, like on HSK 1, HSK 2, they kind of show you a little bit of the breakdown of the characters. But by HSK 3, they stop explaining why the characters are composed the way that they are composed. And they don't show you what each part is sort of comprised of. They deal a little bit with radicals, but not too much. So here, they show you the different component parts of the character. They break it down even further. Look at this. Wow, they even go even further. Okay, so this is just showing you the radical, the tsai radical, grass radical. So, tu tsai, how do you say that? Good question. Don't know. Jua, and this is mu. So they show you all of these different, like how it gets broken down. So it doesn't have a pronunciation at all, but at least not here. Jutiping, fantastic resource. Gives you the Mandarin Pinyin pronunciation here, and then how to break it down into the different component parts. And this, I guess, this box refers to how, okay, so how it's laid out, vertical composition, because some characters, we could go ren shi. Yeah, ren shi. This will have a different composition. Snip. Ren. Zi. Cut that apart, and it has a horizontal composition. So you go from left to right. Other ones have vertical, top to bottom. This one has horizontal, left to right. And again, you can break it down even further. This is yan. What does this mean? To know. What is this? Give me yan. It doesn't tell me what that is. I thought that was the people radical. Yan. And then this is ren. People, mankind, people. Doesn't say simplified Kangxi radical. Yeah, uses language, isn't it? Yeah, yu yan. That's yan as in language. So people language is knowledge to understand. And shi, two parts. Break that again. So you have yan and zhi. And zhi is only. So only language, people language is to have knowledge, to have a greater understanding, to know something. Ren shi. Not sure if that's exactly what it is, but we'll go with it for there in that regard. So, very good website that they have. You can actually download all of the. I think you can download it all. Yeah, you can download the whole thing if you want. They give you the. Where's the zip file? Type Chinese. Pinyin. Okay, I don't know. Right. Huh. Chinese typing interview based on this tool. Wang Shang Zhongwen Tou Ru Fa? What is this? Site can't be reached. Okay, bye-bye. All right. Well, they do have it somewhere. Actually, download the zip file of all of the characters and everything that they have in the database. So it's actually kind of neat. You can then take that and put that into Claude or ChatGPT, and it will help you. You can use that as the back end of your. There it is. Mandarin pronunciation pinyin. Is this it? No, that's not it. Can't tell. Practice. What is this? Vocabulary web feeds. Ooh, hello. Chinese character quiz. Flashcards. Okay, so lots of stuff on offer here. Start to flat. HSK. Ooh, let's go HSK 6. Start the flashcards. Wow. Okay, you can even free flashcards. Wow. Fantastic. Simplify, but oh no, don't do that. All right, let's stop. No. Righto. Okay. How do I next? Tian. Well, it's just giving me all the answers. Display settings. I don't. Oh, you gotta customize it. Ugh, goodness. Seems like a lot of work. Xiao to vanish to die out. Xiao Fei, Xiao Feng. Next. Oh, Jin near, close. Fujin nearby. Ju, Ju first tone. Live or dwell. Minju. Jumin resident. Juju to reside. Linju, your neighbor. I don't know my neighbors. Lived here 10 years. Knew one of them. She moved away. Don't know any of the other neighbors in my immediate proximity. Outside, I know some other neighbors, but not too many. All right, so MDBG database, very good. You can use flashcards. It's got web feeds here, great stuff. Chinese character quiz, we already went through that. And then the whole dictionary that breaks apart the different characters as you need them, which is very, very helpful. So very good overall dictionary to use, very simple to use. MDV servers left the US. Too much hostility, too little respect. The EU welcomed them with open arms. We're doing our part to make Europe great again. Wow. Okay. Didn't know that.